Okay, we're going to go through those 4 costing methods. The
LIFO, weighted average, and specific identification. This is right out of your book. It's Exhibit 6-3 in your book, 6.3 in your book. And then this is from the PowerPoints, and the PowerPoints, you can find these on the Canvas website, right? So you can see all of this stuff, and you can print it, or you can load it up in your screen or whatever. We're gonna use the same data for all 4 things. We're gonna go through, start with this beginning inventory 10 at 91, and then we're gonna buy some, and we're gonna sell some, and we don't care what we sell them for, because we're more interested in what our cost of goods sold and our inventory. So this is not terribly useful for us for what we're trying to do. So that's our goal, right? Is to figure out cost of goods sold and merchandise inventory, and then we buy some more, and we buy some more, and we sell some more. But we're going to use these costing, or these different schemes for assigning costs to cost of goods sold. Now, the first one we're going to look at is specific identification. This is really the easiest one, right? And like I said, this is right out of your book. So what they're telling us is, okay, we go through all of this. We got 12 units left, right? So it tells us that we sold specifically on August 14th, 8 of the bikes we paid $91 for, and then specifically 12 of the bikes we paid $106 for, right? That's the 20 units that we sold on the 14th of August, right? Remember, that's the 20 units that we're selling on the 14th of August. Where is it? There it is right there, right? August 14th. We sell those 20 units. And then the other one is what? August 30th, we sell 23 units, right? And it tells us that specifically 2 of those were the $91 cost units, and 3 of them were $106, and 15 at 1 and 15 and 3 at 119, right? So we do the math across. And our cost of goods sold for the August 14th sale is $2,000, and for the August 30th sale is $25.82. Total cost of goods sold is $45.82, right? Well, we should have what, $59.90 was what we started with for inventory, right? So we started with $59.90. I sold that, so my remaining inventory is $1,408, right? It's specific identification. Generally, this is used if we have a serialized product, right? Something with a serial number. Car dealers or diamond dealers, or maybe bikes, I guess, would work also, right? So that's specific identification, where we just specifically look at which ones were sold, right? Now, the next one we're going to look at is first in, first out, FIFO. Right, now we're going to look at FIFO. We're going to take these same things, right, the same data, and we're going to go through and start, and then buy some things and sell some things, and buy some things and buy some things, sell some things. But this time we're going to assign costs based on a first in, first out basis, right? So the first thing that happens is, I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit and give you a better look. Focus. So that's what we start with, right? Now, we have 10 units at $91, right? So our total inventory balance is $910, right? Now, on August 3rd, we buy 15 more units, right? We buy 15 more units, and the cost of those is $106 at $15.90, right? So now watch what happens. This is very important. Where it says purchased, I put down that 15 I bought at 106, right? $15.90. That keeps track of what I purchased, right? This is cost of goods sold, but I want to maintain my inventory balance. Now I still have these 10 units at $91, right? So I bring those down. I move those down to here, right? And then these come right up underneath it. So now I have 10 units at $91, and I have 15 units at $106. If I do the math, add or do that multiplication and add them, that's $2,500 I have invested in my inventory. But we have to keep track of these layers, right? Because we're selling things first in, first out. I should be better. First in, first out, right? So that's what it looks like at the end of August 3rd. The next transaction is the August 14th transaction. where we're going to sell 20 units at $130. Okay, again, I don't care about the $130. I'm looking for what? The cost of goods sold. So I need to sell 20 units. Well, I start where? First in my oldest layer, right? So I want to sell what? All of those units at 91. So I bring those down to my cost of goods sold, but I still need 10 more to make up the total of 20, right? So I take 10 out of this layer, right? So if you look at that, the stuff we sold was what? We sold all of the $91 layer. That's all gone, right? And I had 15 of those at 106. I sold 10 of them, so that means I have 5 of them remaining, right? And I kept the integrity of those layers. I always knew which was first and which was next. When I went to sell things, I started where? First in, the oldest layer, the top layer, right? So there's my cost of goods sold for this sale, and there's my ending inventory. Now, the next transaction, I buy 20 units at $115. This happens on August 17th. So if you look what happens here, I buy the 20 units at $115, right? Now over here, I still own those 5 at 106, right? So I bring those down, and I bring those new ones right up underneath it, right? Right up underneath it. So I have my 2 layers of inventory, my oldest layer, my first layer, and my newest layer, right? Now, August 28th, I buy some more. So now look at what happens. I buy 10 at $119, right? But I still have both of those layers, and I take both of those layers and I bring them down, right? So I have 5 at 106, I have 20 at 115, and 10 at 119, right? The newest ones that I just bought come underneath. So now we have 3 layers, but the same rules apply, right? First in, first out, so that's what we're selling, right? Now, the very last thing we do, August 30th, we sell 23 units, right? 23 units, but I start where? At the top of the list. So I start with 5 of those, right? We sell 5 of them at a cost of 106, and then it takes 18 at the out of the $115 layer, right? To make my 23 units that I sold, okay? Now, I had 5 of those, sold them all, they're gone, right? Had 20 of the units at 115, sold 18 of them, so I have 2 left, and I still have the 10 at 119, right? So my ending inventory is 2 units at $115, 10 units at 119, right? And if I look at the bottom of this thing, we have our cost of goods sold, and we have our ending inventory balance, right? Now, the important thing with this, or with FIFO and LIFO especially, is we have to keep our layers intact, right? We have to keep our layers in place because we have to use this first in, first out as a way of keeping track of the integrity of how old our stuff is, right? So that's FIFO.